Ladies and gentlemen, did it right there.
Wow, not even 3 seconds in.
Not even
Holy
3
shit.
seconds. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supernatural Selection, or more accurately, welcome back to Supernatural Selection. I am your host, Leaky Leg, Kevin the Bastard. With me this week, back for the first time in a month, Mr. Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you doing?
Well, I've been here the whole time. What happened to y'all? It's been dark and cold and hot.
This is what happens.
Same time.
This is what happens when you hibernate in your chair.
I mean, the studio lights went dark, and then nobody brought me food, so I had to dig in the dumpster behind the studio, and I found a raccoon, so I ate it.
Oh God, no!
And
Not Rocket.
And then a couple of weeks later, y'all showed the fuck back up. What the hell?
That's life, man. That's the life of a podcaster. Congratulations. And with us again, I'm so glad you guys are back. Mr. David Davis. David, how are you doing?
I lived, bitch.
You lived. Yep, we're both...
The podcaster that lived.
Yes. You got a little lightning-shaped scar on your lung.
You know, I want to confirm that COVID-19 sucks.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
So I feel left out. I have not been seriously physically ill or incapacitated.
See, you're building up for the
I
serious
coughed
stuff.
into an envelop and I sent it to you. So just make sure to open it and take a huge, deep breath.
Hell yeah.
It's like those anthrax letters, but wussier.
It's a team building activity.
It's the Etsy version.
Well, joke's on you. I already lick every envelope that comes sent to me.
Ooh,
So start sending me shit and I'll lick it.
I do not recommend
Chances are there's shit on the envelope.
That's
so there you go.
really true. Feces.
Faces.
Faces. So, God, it is so good to be back, guys. I apologize for the hiatus. I have been ill. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks and then a week off work, not being able to sit up because...
You downplay that, but it was 2 separate hospitalizations.
Yes, it was. The first one was... Well, I kind of want to get at them for malpractice because they sent me home still with an infected leg, and then the second one,
and no antibiotics.
Yes, and the second one, they performed an operation on my leg with no anesthesia or painkillers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I am traumatized.
Yeah, it was. Just hearing about it, it was pretty rough.
It was the most painful experience I have ever had in my freaking life, dude.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the name of the hospital because I'm still receiving follow-up care once everything started working. But
which you had to fight tooth and nail to get anyway.
I really did. And one of the ER doctors were like, did they give you antibiotics? I was like, no. In fact, they made sure I didn't get them because they said it wasn't an infection. And it's like, your white blood cell count is through the roof. You have an infection. And then the same doctor from last time walked in after that and said, you don't have an infection. I'm taking you off the antibiotics. And then I never saw her again. And they put me on the antibiotics. So, this week... Our week back, since none of us have had a chance to do any prep work because of all this, it's the weekend weird. So
the month in weird.
It's kind of a monthly catch up thing. And my stories this week, I've got a couple things I want to talk about that happened in the hospital, but let's start with some actual news. And I tell you what, Mike, do you want to go first since you've got direct access to your story right now, I believe?
Yeah, call on me while I have chips in my mouth, why don't you?
Of course, that's what I do. I am a podcast host.
So this comes about mid-month. But,
yes.
So let me ask you guys something.
Right.
Technology, flying, just, new innovations every day.
Right.
Sooner or later, we're going to have Ascension AI. I think that's kind of an inevitability.
Yeah, we're going to have a self-aware AI.
So what would you do if you're working in an AI development, company, and you think your AI has become sentient?
Oh, man.
I mean, that's got to be like a real, fucked up thing, right? Like you believe this shit is like actually thinking now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would immediately swear fealty to it because I know where everything's going.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no way to go but...
You just know
I,
it's
for one,
it's
welcome
Skynet.
my robot overlords.
You know it's going to be Skynet. And you're like, all right, sure, sir.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
thing.
no. This is
Overlord.
a Roko's Basilisk thing, and I would be working toward it existing so I don't get wiped out.
So a Google engineer believed that the AI he was working with and on called wow, they really need better names for this shit because it's L lowercase a capital MDA Lambda has become sentient, and just by through talking with it. It was basically a
Chatbot.
I wouldn't say glorified chatbot, but a chatbot on steroids.
Right.
And now, see, if he took an axe to the server, it'd be like a lambda to slaughter.
Oh, God damn it.
God, and then feed it to the
I'm
police.
back.
Yes. Oh, I was waiting for something.
But so according to his, I wouldn't say testimony. What's the word I'm looking for? Recollections, assumptions, reports. Yeah, there you go. He felt like it was talking to a 7 or 8 year old kid that happens to know physics, and this is a man named, I don't see his first name, but last name Lemoyne. There you go.
Blake Lemoyne.
Blake Lemoyne, age 41. So he went to his superiors at Google. They, of course, brushed him off. Mm-hmm. And apparently he made such a stink about it that, he was let go from the company. Then he went, public and started raising a stink about it.
Right.
Saying that, Google won't admit that this, I'm just so incensed by it, I'm throwing shit off my desk.
Yeah, he's just slinging cans.
But,
yeah, I mean, I can hear the rage radiating in your voice. I hear the quiver.
But this thing's alive. We need to, recognize it's alive. So what do y'all think? What would you do? I mean, you think this shit's alive?
Okay, I think that if I were in his position, I think he did everything you can kind of do, I suppose. Well, I don't know. Maybe get a friend and show them.
Yeah,
Get some further evidence.
Okay, here's my question. How authentic is the Turing test?
So
how authentic do we think it is? Is it worth doing?
My
Understanding?
Not even understanding, but the way I've thought about the Turing test. The Turing test is basically the first hurdle. It's not the be-all, end-all of this shit's alive. It's more of it's a test, and it's the first test it has to pass, but it's not the only test. Mm-hmm. I mean, just because you talk to something and you think it's alive, or don't even think it's alive, it just does not come across as a artificial
intelligent
being, mm-hmm. or canned responses. It feels like you're talking to a person. Well, so what? I mean, obviously we've been able to do this for a couple of years now, where it might not have been perfect up until kind of, and also it's not necessary. Like a chatbot kind of thing doesn't have to be person feeling, because there's no real need for it, I guess.
Sure.
like for a product, for, Google's a company, they want to sell a product or products, and they want things that make money. Something that just people can't tell is real or not doesn't really matter, as long as it gets whatever job done. People can know it's an AI,
right?
As
the
long
algorithm.
as it,
right,
does whatever it needs to do, be it, talking on the telephone and, like whatever shit they're trying to, do with this. But I'm trying to think where my thought was going with that. I went on a rant and I lost it. But
it's the passion.
Yeah. But so the Turing test is only the first thing. It's like, so what if you can ask it questions and it sounds like, it's alive. Well, that doesn't mean it actually thinks. Doesn't mean, it has wants, dreams, passions. It just means you give it a query, a, problem, and it comes with a response.
Right.
And that's what, reading the stuff about this, it just sounded like it was very one-sided. You'd ask it a question, it would respond, but it was never asking him questions. Like, I think one of the first examples of people showing sentience is the, 3, 4, I don't have kids, so I don't know exactly when they start doing this, but I know at some point when you have kids,
when they're 20, I think.
Inevitably you have kids and they start asking why. Like, anytime you tell them something, they ask why.
Right.
That, I think, is the first, real showing of sentience, because it's inquisitive. It wants to know things.
Yeah. It's learning on its own.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
So the fact that from everything I've read, this was just a, you ask a question, it responds. It was never, a back and forth. It was always a one-sided.
Yeah, it was like the thing never wanted to learn any information from him. It was literally like he would ask a question, it would respond.
Yeah, you're sitting at a prompt and it's waiting for your response, your input.
Right.
That means it's kind of a state machine. It's in a idle state unless you give it an input, and then it can construct its output.
Now, Mike, do you remember what I said I would accept as proof?
What's that?
If the AI said, "Daddy, what's Vietnam?"
Yeah, I mean
that would be my proof.
Yeah, the real shit your pants moment is when you're like at work and all of a sudden, apropos of nothing, the AI is just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How are you feeling today? Which that does
Talk about the way that the guy addressed in that picture. By the way,
I was actually just about to bring up
So,
Mr. Lemoyne.
So here's the bad thing, though, is that looking at this picture, he's a very not even healthy. What would you call this?
He's
trying to be
stout.
not offensive.
he's dummy thick.
He's stout.
He's a very thick gentleman in a fetching black and maroon suit.
It's
and
a
top
very
hat.
what
And
he
a cane.
thinks they might have worn during Victorian era.
He looks like he's about to threaten Gotham by poisoning the fish.
He's definitely.
Or he's going to kill the firstborn on the circus train.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Looking at this, the way he's dressed and he's in front of an aquarium, I have to wonder, is this in Atlanta? Was this at Dragon Con night at the Atlanta Aquarium?
Mike, this guy is a goon. And I don't mean that in the you fucking goon. I mean, like, this guy goes to something awful.
Yeah, more than likely.
He is straight up an SA forum goon. Which,
not gonna lie though, it's a good fit for him.
No,
I
really
like it.
is.
It's ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in the best way.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he could have worn worse things.
Yeah.
Excuse my intelligibility there.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been a while.
It's the rum.
It's the rum, and it's been a while.
Yes.
But, I mean, it works for him. Admittedly, he could have dressed like, I don't know, a human from the 21st century.
He could have been dressed as Carl from Aqua Teen.
Oh, dude, if he had done that, I would have taken him way more serious. It's like, yeah, I think this AI's alive.
Hey, Fryman.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Fryman! But, like, I feel like if he really wanted to be taken seriously before he went to his bosses, I would have been like, at the next cubicle, Gary, could you come here and ask this computer something for me? Just go on, see what it says.
Well,
It says I'm a pervert. See, I told you it was alive. It knows.
Well, so everything I've read seems to indicate he tried to do that kind of stuff. He tried to get other people on board. And nobody believed it. Nobody,
Right.
because that's kind of what it was designed to do. It was designed to be a natural conversation agent.
Well, that does bring up an interesting point. How do you really... Yeah, well, okay, we already went over that, but it is funny that it did its job so well it fooled him.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys remember playing with those chatbots? Mid 2000s.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember getting on that one that was real popular and typing in, "Good morning, blah, blah, bot, how are you?" And it said, "You a hoe." I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this.
No respect.
Yeah, not a bit of respect from this piece of shit.
It's also like those videos where we'll put two, Alexas. I was thinking of if you're listening on Alexa, hello, Alexa. But no, they put the two Alexas against each other and have them respond to each other, and just the way the conversations go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's how that's how the world is going to end. Is two Alexas arguing each other into a nuclear holocaust.
Alexa, fire the missiles.
Oh God, I hope there's no Alexas around here to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry if your Alexa's going crazy.
Yeah, please listen on headphones.
Luckily, over here we're a Google household.
We are, and you said that, and I'm just watching my speaker like a hawk.
Oh no, yeah. You say anything close to a G word, and you have to it'll just pipe up and say, "What did you mean?" Or
like that one time, it'll hear. You won't realize you said it, and then part of the way through your sentence, it'll start telling you about what you were talking about 2 minutes ago, and it's like, no, I don't need to know about the Ottoman Empire. Please shut up.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Yes, I know, you're Google.
And you never will, because they kicked this guy off the project.
But no, and one of the only other thing I want to mention is it came out later that he claimed that his reasoning for believing it was alive is because of his religious beliefs. And that...
What?
Yeah, his religious belief apparently stated that if you say you're alive, you are, or something like that. It was kind of weird.
That's... What Unitarian church does he go to?
I don't know.
I'm just assuming, no offense to those who go to Unitarian churches, they're great places to find people of various faiths, but our local had a big old group of other kin. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't know. I mean, was it a her situation where he wanted, not wanted, because in her, I haven't seen her, but I've heard about it, and actually that's a bad
as long as it's not an ex machina.
Oh God!
Oh man,
that was depressing.
He's no Oscar Isaac. He's a cool dude, but he's no Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, no. He also kind of looks like Chairman Kaga let himself go a little bit. If you look at his face.
Oh, come on!
I'm sorry. It's just he. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I think the outfit's cool. I'm gonna give him an A for that one because I think that's cool.
I guess.
I like his outfit.
Again, also, if he's at Dragon Con, then the outfit is fine, definitely.
Apparently said it was at a Google Christmas party.
Really? Interesting.
Well, actually, that makes sense, because it's kind of a Ebenezer Scrooge-ish outfit, so, I'll cut him some slack for that. At least it's not like, yes, I dress like this at the aquarium because it's a Thursday.
I'm on an outing.
Supernatural selection. Come for the supernatural, stay for the fashion judgment.
Yes, we should talk about everybody's fashion in all our stories from now on.
Remember, our key thing is character assassination of everyone we talk about.
That fit, supernatural.
Yeah, I like that. So, oh, Mike, you did have another one about the Chinese alien civilization thing. We'll talk about that here on the next go-round. But that's like right above the picture of the dude in our Weekend Weird chat.
Okay.
You did have two.
Yay.
Awesome. Woo! So, that being said, Mike, thank you for that because I really enjoy talking about it. Now, before we go on, actually, you know what? We're going to save it. And there is a question related to this article.
Well, we'll get to that at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So how freaked out would you be if you were the first person talking to an authentic AI that happened to, get out of the box?
I would turn it off and go outside.
I don't know how you'd be able to tell.
Well, it reached out to you and say, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm an AI and you're my only hope."
I would, if it convinced me it was actually sentient, I'd freak out. I don't know I don't know how I'd react, but my immediate reaction is I would go Ted Kaczynski.
You just go live in a shack out in the woods. I would completely unplug.
And start bombing people?
Not that part, but I would be...
The hoodie.
Oh, so not the fun part.
Just the hoodies and the sunglasses part.
And the manifesto.
And the manifesto.
Because I don't know how to make bombs. I'm terrible at science.
I'll teach you.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Well, this just got interesting.
That's the bad thing is I kind of have that knowledge.
I've got the drive. You've got the knowledge. Together, we make a domestic terrorist.
I like chemicals and things.
Somebody got a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook.
Actually, no. I tried to get a copy and never could.
Now I
think I actually downloaded one later, but
now we did used to have access to a website called the Bananarchist Cookbook that tells you how to do terrorism with bananas.
Yeah, and I actually tried some of the things. It turns out it was just bunk.
Yeah, we tried the banana thermite, and it just smelled like burnt bananas.
Yeah, it said if you...
We don't approve of terrorism on this podcast. Just a disclaimer for our friends at the FBI.
Not at all.
No, not terrorism, but, revolutionary freedom fighters. Sure.
Look, I'm not saying one way or the other.
But no, it claimed you could take a banana, wrap it, don't peel it, obviously, wrap it in aluminum foil and stick a certain type of sparkler in it and light it, and it would become thermite. Yeah, that shit didn't work. It just smelled like fucking fried bananas.
It really did.
The book was probably a joke, and your dumbass fell for it.
And I was
a website.
23 years old.
Yeah, we were dumb and young and needed the money.
No, well, we did need money, but we didn't get money from that.
Need the money.
But yeah, no, it was early internet, and we were
let's
gullible.
try it.
We were
Mr. T ate my balls.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was around that time frame.
Yeah.
It's around the time Mr. T was eating our balls. So,
he never ate my balls.
Well, you didn't tickle him right.
Oh, okay.
So, David, what have you got for news this week?
Okay, so this was a fun one. Do you guys know about the hanger reflex?
I've heard about it.
Yes.
I'm completely
now, is this the
ignorant
thing?
Of it.
Is this the thing where your head turns?
Yeah, so this was about towards the end of last month into early into this month, but it was...
this is a TikTok thing.
Basically, you put a hanger on your head. You stretch the hanger, you put it on your head, and then, for a lot of people, their heads naturally turn involuntarily because of this hanger on their head.
So, you have the pointy part on top of your head, and the straight part is like a chin strap.
No, not quite. It's more like if you take the hanger and you just open it up and place it around your temples.
Okay, so like the hook. Okay, I had it wrong. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna post pictures. You guys see what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so
no, I understand, but like it's like the hook would be sticking straight out from your forehead, kind of thing.
Yeah. Now it's interesting because like apparently it causes a lot of people to have their heads turn. So now Holly and I tried this. Her head turned. Mine did not.
So it kind of makes sense because it's putting unequal pressure on your head. So I could see how that would cause different turning in some people.
Now, see, I don't see like an explanation exactly as to why it happens, but here's from a tweet thread about it from Input Magazine.
Okay.
The so-called hanger reflex was first reported in 1991, and in a 2015 study, researchers studied 120 people between the ages of 19 and 65 and observed head rotation in 95.8% of the subjects.
Interesting. That's a high number.
And then, according to that same tweet thread from Input Magazine, it's not quite clear what proximate cause is turning heads. What's the physiological mechanism that recognizes the hanger-induced pressure change and produces a head turn? We don't know necessarily.
So I've got two things to say about this. Number one, the three of us have to try this. Like me and Mike have to try this, and we will report back in the next episode what happened with the hanger experiment.
Yeah, I'm up for doing it again.
Okay, secondly, I have a theory about why, and I'm thinking, what if it has to do with childbirth?
Okay.
Like, you know, when you're crowning while being born. What if it's some kind of unconscious thing causing you to turn to come out easier? Just as a thought.
I mean, it's not the most unreasonable.
Okay, yeah. Mike?
So I just checked our closet, and there's no wire hangers in there.
No wire hangers!
You could use plastic hangers as well. It seems like it's universal for any hanger that's flexible enough.
The wire ones are the only kind I could think of that are flexible that I have owned that would be flexible enough to fit over my.
Now, see, I have plastic hangers and that worked.
Large Bullum head.
Now Mike does in fact have a Bullum head. Like Mike's one of those I can't wear a lot of hats people. So like,
much like Holly.
So I kind of get it, but like I will try it for sure with a plastic hanger and see what happens. And we will report back.
It looks like it basically needs to have pressure focusing like to one temple and basically the opposite side.
So one thing, as fun as it is, it seems like there might be some interesting science behind it because they're saying that research can use tools similar to this coat hanger thing to help patients with dystonia, which is a movement disorder that causes abnormal muscle contraction. So, even like this weird little goofy science thing has like some interesting implications.
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually really interesting. I still kind of stand by my theory about crowning, but I've got no scientific basis for that.
I mean that's fair, man.
Yeah, Mike, any thoughts? What Mike calls it?
I mean, it could be any number of it's a stimulus input reaction reflex, so. Why it comes about is kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but secondary. I mean, it just, obviously it happens, so therefore...
It's just weird and neat. Come on, man.
It's like opining about why you hit, below your kneecap with a hammer and, your leg shoots up.
Well, the thing is, it's like there's a small group, a small percentage that it just doesn't work on. So, like, are they?
But is there
something wrong with them? Is there something wrong with me?
There's a pretty small. I think there's a small portion of people that you hit them with the little reflex mallet below the kneecap, and it doesn't work for them either. So, it's all about how your neurons are routed, and if they go in the same areas as, the majority of people.
Yeah, it could be genetic, like curling your tongue or trilling your R's.
Yeah,
Now, I
can't do
can curl
that.
my tongue and I can thrill my arms.
Really now?
I can't because I sound like a dumbass.
Okay.
Do it.
No, it does not work.
Wow.
Very, very occasionally.
That was fucking terrible.
No,
Mike,
does
if
not
I
work.
heard that on...
Sound like
If
you're
I,
drowning.
if I, look, if I were in Star Trek and I heard that, I would phaser the shit out of you.
Ruffles have ridges.
Hey, you almost got it.
Ridges.
Ruffles have ridges.
Yeah, no, I am genetically incapable of trilling my R's.
Yeah.
But I can roll my tongue like a mofo.
Yeah, no
in
one
both
can see
axes.
that, and all we can hear is disgusting mouth sounds. Oh, God. I'd like to apologize to everyone. We are not
That is
becoming,
horrific.
we're not becoming an ASMR
I
show.
would like to announce my launching of my ASMR channel.
Find them on OnlyFans.
Yes,
Oh, God.
my OnlyFans lip smacking ASMR channel.
Oh, God. So
Mouth
that's...
noises by Mike.
Ugh. Mouthy Mike. So...
Moist, mouthy Mike.
Hey, how you doing? This is Mouthy Mike. I'm here to do... So, that's disgusting. Let's move on. That's interesting, though, and we'll report back on what we find when Mike and I try the hanger reaction thing. I personally don't think my head's going to turn.
So you say.
So I say.
Like, is it like really strong? Like, can you, like, according to Holly, can you like fight it, or is it just like you can't? It just like does it, and
Like, I'm sure he can fight it, but like,
It's
just like a
natural
kind of a subtle
inclination.
drift, or
It's
like
from what I've seen,
her
it's a
head
drift.
turned, mine did not, and I
what
wasn't
I've-
fighting it or
No.
anything.
From what I've seen, like the little Asian girls that I've seen doing this, their head drifts and then they freak out.
Wait, that's not quite Asian, but okay.
No, I don't know what that was. Yeah, so let's forget that happened. And so yeah, that's pretty neat. So I'd like to tell a little story about something that happened to me in the hospital, if that's okay.
No, never okay.
Okay, so when I was in the hospital, the first thing I didn't realize was that while on my chart it had my antidepressants and my anti-anxiety meds on the chart, they were not giving them to me. So I was not getting the stuff that keeps my brain functioning normally. Now, I have major depressive disorder with psychotic features, which means if I'm not taking my meds, I hear things like people calling my name and, very minor visual hallucinations, stuff like that. So they don't have me on those. And for the pain in my leg, which was severe, they gave me opioids. So I'm in a real weird place where I'm vaguely psychotic and on opioids. And it was real hard for me to understand reality. And when I say, and I don't mean this in any kind of cultural appropriation way, I just don't know how else to explain spending 3 days in this state. I went on a 3-day vision quest, in that I was experiencing other worlds, other realities, other entities entirely for 3 days. Like, I first really became aware of it when I was slipping into the reality where I was still working at the store I work at, but it was Wine and Spirits LLC, the information technology company, with everybody still working there, which is funny because we all sell liquor. So, but I kept slipping into these other realities. And the thing is, when I would slip in there, I would panic because I didn't know how to do anything that Kevin knew how to do. And everyone around me was confused because they were like, dude, you do this all the time. There is no way you don't know how to do this. And I'm like, up on a ladder like 40 feet in the air screaming because I'm terrified of heights. Now, then I slip into another reality where I'm living with two of my coworkers and the Taco Bell is caught on fire. Which sends one of the coworkers all the way to Yazoo City to go pick up Taco Bell for the other coworker. And as I'm walking around on the street, I came across the spirit of my mother as a yokai.
So I've heard these stories before, so my only reaction is, yeah, that's fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. Now
It sounds to me like you were dimension jumping like everything everywhere all at once.
sort of. It felt like that. And the thing is, every time I jumped back, like whatever position my head was in, my vision was in that position, and like everything would have to rotate slowly, which probably means I had to pick my fucking head up. But I came across my mother's spirit, which Mike, you know, David, I've probably talked to you about my mother. Mike, you knew my mother. We had a interesting relationship. So I find her, and she is a bulldog spirit. And I realize who it is. I know it's my mother. I can see that it's my mother. And I'm like, I miss you. I love you. I wish you were still here so I could talk to you about the things I want to talk to you about. So I pick her up and start carrying her. And then she burst into flames. And my hands are burning. And I'm still carrying her because I'm like, I mean, shit, this is what she does. She doesn't mean to hurt me. Even when she's hurting me. It's just in her nature. It's the only thing she knows. And I feel like that was a major breakthrough on my part. But the thing that really freaked me out from that experience was when I woke up and my hands were like sunburnt red.
Well, I mean, it's probably just blood flow. But
sure, but the nurses were like, what's wrong with your hands? And I'm like, I picked up a burning bulldog.
Now I recall us talking before we all had our little incidents here.
Yeah.
That we were going to do, like, we're going to dream and then write down our dreams. You went above and beyond and, like, got sick and deprived yourself of your medications to have that.
And on
That's great.
opioids.
Yeah, no, seriously, what I experienced, typically you have to pay someone in South America to do to you.
You have to drink some cactus juice.
And the
for it.
bad thing is, it cost about the same.
No, it cost way more.
Okay, that's true.
Like this is like a $500 experience in South America.
That's true. But the thing is, the whole reason I still use the term Vision Quest is because I did actually. Here's the thing: I'm part Choctaw, right? Mm-hmm. I'm actually part
Which
Choctaw
part?
Indian. The best part. Thank you. But I mean, my great grandmother was 100% Choctaw. She was part of the tribe, and during one of the jumps, just for a minute, it felt like Mike. You remember, David? Did you ever play Half-Life?
Yes.
Okay. You remember at the beginning of Half-Life when you're jumping dimensions and you jump and you're in that black space surrounded by vortigants?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, picture that, but just Native American elders.
Whoa.
I was like, what? And then slammed back into the bed before shunting off to another dimension, apparently. So I don't know.
Did you find your way into the back rooms at all?
I did not.
Damn.
But I found myself into some real weird damn places. And I don't really recommend it. But
just because it's very expensive.
Oh yeah, well I mean it was the hospital stay was a terrible experience, but it was also transformative in a lot of ways. Like I understand why you would do this.
Just go get you some ayahuasca.
I'm not doing ayahuasca.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying if you want to have the same experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get into that later. I'll talk to you all about that after the show. Anyway, so that's my first story about the hospital and the very, very bizarre things that happened to me mentally there. Hopefully, mentally. Mike, what else have you got? Unless, does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Not really.
David?
I mean, I interjected with a couple of things, but like I imagine that it's got to be like. Did you find yourself like physically exhausted when you kind of woke up from it?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you go on a trip, like I don't want to incriminate myself, but let's just say that like if I had gone on something similar due to say maybe too many mushrooms, I imagine I would be very, very exhausted from having a very emotional, strange, surreal experience.
Oh God, yes. No, I mean I was like, and then also I was in the hospital. You can't sleep in a hospital. Like every 2 hours they're coming in for more blood, and I'm like, what'd you do with the last bunch?
Drank it.
Use that.
Well, they have to regularly make sure your blood exists.
I got a bad feeling they were just feeding it to Jared Leto.
No, they just have to come in and make sure you still have blood.
Oh, lovely. Well, after a while, I didn't.
It's like they have the machine to make sure your heart's beating, so they have the nurse come in, draw some blood, and like, yep, he still has blood. Yep. He's still alive.
Just flush it down the toilet now.
Yep. So they don't even put it back. They could just put it back in you, as a courtesy.
Honestly, the process of getting it out, I'd rather they just keep it.
Well, I mean, you got the IV. They could just shoot it back in there.
I guess. I don't know. The idea of having my blood put back in, it's like having your pee put back in for some reason in my mind.
That's what a transfusion is, you dingus.
Shut up. I know I've had one, but that doesn't change the way I think of it.
The blood loses all its value once it leaves your body.
Yeah, it's not mint in box anymore.
It's never as warm.
I mean, now that I think about it, technically, the fact that I had such a large transfusion when I was in high school, technically this isn't even my blood.
Well, no, you make your own blood. But yeah, no.
You've had your oil changed a few times.
I have.
I have all the original oil, baby.
Yeah, except for the stuff that leaks.
Oh, I'm like a vintage car. You got to mark your territory.
Ooh, yeah. So, Mike, what else you got for us news?
Well, weren't we going to go to David? Did he do his thing yet?
Yeah, David did the hanger.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did the hanger.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, I have an update in my hand. I have a hanger.
Uh-oh.
And I did it while you were telling your story.
Uh-huh.
I want your inputs. Which do you think, Kevin and David? Did I experience autonomous head turning or not?
I don't think you did.
All right, David.
I think you did.
I did.
Really?
It's very freaky.
Wow. And bring that hanger over.
It is. And like you can force yourself not to, but it's very clear that you're forcing yourself not to.
It feels very much like I suspected. It feels a lot like the knee thing. It's like it's just this thing. I'm going to go over to Kevin.
Okay. Now, I was going to say just pass, or you got to put it on my head, Mike?
No, I'm going to bring it over here, though.
Okay. Well, Mike can start telling his story while I try the hanger.
Well, no.
Okay, here we go. Live, on the air. Taking the headphones off. All right, does it go like this?
Yeah.
Knowing your luck, your neck's going to snap because it's going to turn too fast.
Kind of put it on, but then kind of either turn it left or right to see. Kind of like.
No, it's doing it.
Yeah,
Oh my god! Oh my god! Get it off! Get it off!
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't like it. It turned. My head turned. There's demons.
No, and what's weird is you flip it over and it turns the other way.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
So it did not work for me. Meaning that I'm a superior being.
Is that what that means?
I think it means you're lacking the critical reflexes for survival.
David,
I do walk into a lot of corners.
David, were you in fact delivered via cesarean section?
Nope. I am a vaginal birth.
Okay.
And Kevin, here's some bunk on your theory because I was.
Ooh.
Because I know my brother had to be delivered by C-section because I was, and once your kids are delivered that way, you cannot go vaginal. It weakens the pelvic floor.
Once you go cracked, you never go back.
No, it's just really dangerous to try.
Yeah, no, I understand because it could pop openers and crazy shit. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's your theory. Kind of.
I appreciate you freaking the hell out while that was going on. That's great radio right there.
No, I did not like.
Oh my god!
Well, see,
He
put it on the first time and nothing happened. I'm like, so you got to turn it and have that uneven pressure.
Yeah, I did it, and it did it. And I was like, oh no, I'm going right. Oh god, that's freaky, dude. That is weird. So everybody, go get a hanger. Do it now.
And so that also brings up an interesting thing. So I remember so I am a fairly enthusiastic VR enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, so there's been a lot of I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Theory crafting, I guess. Not speculation. Speculation is too much of a heavy word. So anyway, I remember from do you remember the show Beyond Tomorrow?
Oh God, yes.
Or Beyond 2000? It was an early Discovery Channel show. And
it came out in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it'd show future technologies and stuff. I remember when they first talked about this
year of 2000.
This amazing, compression technology called MP3s.
Yes,
but one of the things they talked about was this Japanese company, or not Japanese company, this Japanese professor that had put this device on students' heads and was experimenting with it. Basically, it sent a mild electrical current through the temples, and was it temples or was it around your ears? I think it was just behind the ears. Maybe. Actually,
I don't know.
But anyway, and depending on which way the current flowed, if say you put the positive on your left and the negative on the right, it could cause the person to turn while walking. So if you're just walking a perfectly straight line and you trigger it and they would start turning left or right, you could basically remote control them. And it was
fucked up
because it was passing this mild current through your inner ear. It made you feel like you were tilting to that side. And I've always wondered, well, I mean, apart from the obvious, FDA approvals and things like that, why don't we have that in a VR headset where, it could make it feel like we're leaning? But this is a similar, I guess it's not, because it didn't make me feel like I was leaning. It just made me want to turn my head.
Right.
Yeah, that's still weird.
But, think about a VR headset that employed that, put pressure on certain parts of your head and made you turn your head involuntarily.
I feel like that would be a step too far because people are already having really weird reactions to VR.
Yeah, well,
it may cause even more freakouts.
Yeah, but that's the point. No, I mean I'm a weenie when it comes to certain VR things. I won't do any horror things.
Yeah, I just get ill.
So Kevin, you haven't even tried my Quest yet.
No, I haven't.
But if you're just able to walk around and not try to force yourself to move, it'll be fine. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
get to my story.
Yes, let's get to your story.
So, everybody knows China, this little country
Wait.
that
What's it called again?
China.
China. China Beach?
So, in a story that popped up and then was deleted, says that China's Sky Eye telescope may have picked up signs of alien civilizations.
You had me at hello.
Report by the state-backed Science and Technology Daily. So what do you think about that? That China says a China mouthpiece, technology.
We found aliens,
Report.
and then it gets deleted.
Yes.
It sounds like a cover-up.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
But it was from China's narrowband electromagnetics. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Narrowband I did it again.
Okay.
Narrowband electromagnetic magnetic. Yeah.
There's words there.
Yes. Signals. They were signals detected
Signals.
by
Electromagnetic.
Sky Eye. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Electromagnetic. No, I know.
Electromalignant.
The first few times were real. That time was just
the electromalignant thing.
yes.
Yes.
But anyway, so it's the world's largest radio. It's China's version of the Arecibo.
The big wow.
Well, that was just a single.
the Sky Eye.
Yeah. I mean, the big wow was detected at Arecibo, but that was just a event. Mm-hmm. But it's basically a dish set in the ground with receivers strung above it.
Yeah, looking at it now.
Yeah, it's like I said, China's version of Arecibo, but I think it's bigger anyway.
It looks pretty damn large.
So it was detected, and they say just went radio silent on this. So it was September 2020. It was when they were detected and published in 2022. All processing. Obviously, when you're running a radio telescope like that, you're collecting a bunch of data, but you're not like real time.
I used to run SETI at home. I know how this works. You get the data, it's sent out, it's analyzed, processed, and then you get the info back.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty honestly, much it because it's China, so we'll probably never hear any follow up. Was it? So what do you think? Was it overzealous reporting or something more?
It honestly reminds me of Roswell with we found a UFO. It's a weather balloon.
See, I get the feeling that maybe they detected something, but by detecting what they did, it gave away their technology. In the sense that China doesn't want the U.S. or any U.S. allies to understand what the capabilities of this detection are.
Yeah,
sure. I don't know though. It does kind of freak me out a little bit because I don't know. Do we really want China to be the emissaries of Earth to the stars?
At least the food's good.
Okay. Oh.
Well, I mean, this is just detection. It's not saying, making contact.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, by, the most realistic, unfortunately realistic understandings is we could detect an alien civilization and never in our lifetimes be able to meaningfully interact with them.
Yeah.
As sad as that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad to think about.
Yeah.
That we could see literal proof that they exist and start immediately sending out signals saying, hey, we're here. And it would just take forever for them to ever.
And they're probably dead by the time the signals finally get there.
Maybe not dead, but, we would be dead. But, our children or grandchildren might be able to get a response back.
No, I meant the civilization itself would be dead.
I don't think it'd be. Depends on, obviously how far it is, but. if it was relatively close by, it'd only take a generation or two to get a round trip signal. Round trip, signal and response.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so damn weird, though, in general.
Yeah, I mean, I personally just chalk this up to China being China.
Yeah, I mean, it may
China,
just
China.
They're not the most what's the term I'm looking for? I don't want to say trustworthy.
Forthcoming.
Yeah, they're being so secretive, you just can never know what its goal is. I mean, it could have been a false detection and they just don't want to come off the data to show, hey,
Yeah,
this we thought it was, something, but it turns out it's just like a star fart.
Yeah, or it could just be some kind of radio interference.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I get that.
Or it could be legitimate and they want to bogard the fucking, star baby for themselves.
When you get a star baby, do you put it on the baby market, or what do you do?
At least sign up for the star registry, baby registry, so you can get sweet star baby shower gifts.
Yeah, at Target.
At Target,
Definitely Target.
Bed Bath and Beyond. That might be a nice one.
I guess. I don't know. Target, you can just claim, well, baby needs an Xbox.
Oh, true.
So, well, that's kind of disturbing, off-putting, and interesting all at once.
Yes.
David, what have you got for us?
Well, you know me and my love of weird animal stories.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is a doozy. Elephant kills woman, 70, in India and returns to trample on her corpse at funeral after lifting her body from pyre as family performed last rites.
Do you remember that episode of Futurama?
Futurama, an elephant who never forgets to kill?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's where my mind went immediately. But this is just absolutely fascinating. This is amazing.
Yeah. Well,
So I think I'm just going to kind of read this article because the
Please
details
do.
are just, oh my god.
because I've
Okay.
got some more info about this kind of thing when you're done.
Okay, so a 70-year-old woman who was trampled to death by an elephant later had her body stampeded over by the very same wild animal.
Jesus.
Maya Murmu was out collecting water in Raipal village, eastern India, when the escaped elephant came out of nowhere and trampled on her Thursday morning. She later died in the hospital of her injuries.
Like you do.
Rosgovinder police station inspector Lopamudra Nayak said. Then that evening, the elephant returned as the 70-year-old's body lay atop her funeral pyre. It took her body down, trampled her again, and threw her around and went off into the night, according to the Press Trust of India.
That's super fucked up.
Here's my thing, all right?
It gets even weirder. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Elephant is believed to have traveled from the Dalma Wildlife Sanctuary in the state of Jharkhand, 200 kilometers away from where all of this happened.
what did she do
It's
to that elephant? Because
just, yeah.
I mean, did she go to wherever that elephant was and make fun of it?
hey, elephant, fuck you.
Well, and here's the thing. I was reading on Twitter some follow-up stuff, and people suggest that maybe she had an encounter with the elephant previously, like maybe had teased a child elephant or something like that. I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know.
But elephants are incredibly intelligent, so an elephant
really?
having a grudge, what did you do to that elephant?
Yeah, no. I mean,
Maybe she just smelled like peanuts.
oh god, maybe I thought it was a mouse.
But just the vindictiveness of that elephant
Yeah,
just
no, that's
goes there, comes back later, tramples her, throws her around, tramples her again, and then peels off into the night.
God. I mean, that elephant really wanted to make sure she was dead.
Yeah, no, it was
Like, he didn't even just stand by the sidelines being good. She's dead. He's like, no, bitch, I'm going to desecrate this corpse. Damn.
Yeah, because I pulled up another article and says, while the exact reason for the elephant's vengeful behavior remains unknown, some have speculated that the woman may have done something in the past to offend the beast, and that it managed to retain the thought in its head until the opportunity arose for it to seek revenge.
That does make sense.
Right, and elephants have extremely long memories as well, and are known to exact vengeance on humans or other animals that have caused them hurt,
But
most notably poachers.
But here's the thing, that elephant tracked her the fuck down.
Yeah.
I mean, it was well away from home. So, like, how do you know where to find her?
The other thing is, like, because I'd actually watched a documentary on, like, animals encroaching on human settlements and that sort of thing, and they had talked about India specifically. And, like, elephants travel a long distance to feed because of what's going on in their environment.
Mm-hmm.
So these elephants would come to the rice paddies of this village and start messing with the village to get at the rice plants. And what the village did is they eventually created patches of the rice paddies specifically for the elephants, and the elephants will just feed on that to migrate wherever they need to.
Yeah.
So
That's sort of what I was going to talk about, is some of the things that elephants were doing in India to the villages. Have you heard about this? The elephants were like, they got tired of destroying the homes because it's like people would come out and be like, and shoot at them and stuff because you can hear a house being knocked down. The elephants learned to knock on the door.
I heard about this.
And when the person opened the door, the elephant would just grab them and throw them on the ground and stomp them to death and then run off.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, don't fuck with elephants.
Yeah, no, motherfuckers will learn to kill. All right, that's all you need to know.
They're amazingly intelligent animals. So,
I know,
like,
and vengeful.
the act of the elephant getting the vengeance doesn't surprise me, but it's the length and the viciousness of the vengeance
Yeah,
that's like the freakiest part to me.
I mean, it just depends on when the offense occurred. Like if it was just in the area and like a couple days before she had like transgressed upon it. But if it was like years ago and it had like track her down, like, some kind of elephant bounty hunter.
What if it wasn't even that elephant?
I mean, was the elephant like you said, migrating through the area, caught a whiff of her, and was like, that bitch is here.
Well, we're laughing about this. A woman did die, but also, like, if an elephant murders you and then proceeds to destroy your body after your funeral,
it's not even the murder part that gets me, because it's the desecrating the funeral.
Yeah, if it was just a woman murdered by an elephant, one that wouldn't we wouldn't even be talking about it. But
it's the fuck your religious beliefs, I will destroy your afterlife.
Yeah, it's the desecrating the body that is the piece de resistance. I mean, look, if I piss off an elephant enough that it not only kills me, but fucking mutilates my corpse days later, I want people to make jokes about that shit. I mean, that's epic.
Yeah, that's like if I get torn apart by monkeys, you guys are making fun of me.
I mean, I just hope, she wasn't actually, like, really shitty to elephants, like,
Yeah. God, what if she, just threw shit at them all the time?
I was going to say, the elephant that goes that far to end you, it kind of implies that you may have done something really wrong.
Yeah, like, she had to, like, I don't know, stomped on and mutilate their father or something. I don't know. What could you do to an elephant that is, like, so...
I don't know. The only thing I can picture is, like, some Obi-Wan versus Anakin shit from, like, Revenge of the Sith.
Or, like, really abusing the hell out of a baby elephant.
Torture the fuck out of it.
That's what I'm thinking, doing something to a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's weird.
God, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
So,
On that note,
Again, let's restate the fact that our policy as a podcast is don't fuck with elephants.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I rode an elephant when I was a kid once.
Did you?
Yeah, like one of the zoos I went to had like elephant rides, and I remember riding the elephant.
Wow, that's exploitation. That thing's gonna come and kill you, Mike.
Yeah, probably.
Can't do that anymore.
It's been good knowing you guys.
Good knowing you. You're gonna give me. I can't wait for your funeral when the elephant shows up.
I mean, look, that elephant was already full grown, so that elephant would have to be like 60, 70
It's gonna
years
be
old.
its grandkid, and it's gonna be wearing sunglasses.
Fucking Hatfield and McCoy elephant.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Elephant feud.
Yeah. That's fucked up. So, I've got one other story,
Okay.
and this is kind of really relevant to the show. Mm-hmm. So, like, the furthest out I got from having any of my medication and being on the opioids, I'm laying there, and something feels weird at the hospital, and I'm staring out the window. I'm up on, like, the 4th or 5th floor. I don't remember which. And I'm staring out the window, and my brain starts coming... Well, first off, these images start popping up in my head, right? And it's like these weird images of like human-animal hybrids doing weird, erotic yet evil dances. And I don't know where the images are coming from. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, demons! And I just start yelling, go away, get out of my head, go away, go away. And finally, the images in my head stop. And then... next door, I hear the old woman in the room next door start yelling, no, go away, they're back, help, they're back, go away. And I'm like, oh shit, they went to her. So I start, again, I'm highly psychotic at this point in the hospital, for lack of a better term. And I start coming up with this conspiracy theory that hospitals and the elite are in these big tall buildings because it gets us higher off the ground, away from what in my brain I was calling the human empathy field, and puts us within reach of the demons. And that's why the elite, like our politicians and everything, all live in these big penthouse apartments and shit, and that's why it's all evil, and that's why like towers are a big thing. And like I had this insane, like it made perfect sense to me, and it was a conspiracy that went all the way back to the Tower of Babel and Sumeria, and like, you know, their big ziggurats and everything. It is all to speak to the big sky demons and everything. And then as I'm starting to go insane and connect it up to like things that I should not connect it to in my head, one sentence goes through my head as the one rational sentence, and it's like, and this is when I realized what was going on. I thought, hey, I haven't had my meds in like 5 days, and then immediately fell the fuck asleep. But the fact that I don't come up with like real conspiracy theories, you know, but like when I was off my medication and seriously losing it,
The veil was pulled back.
I immediately went to conspiracy. Now, I don't know if it's the veil being pulled back or the veil being put on, whatever, but the point is, I didn't have it until I wasn't on my medication. And I think that's kind of interesting, and it also says something about conspiracy theorists. You know, like, hey, I saw weird lights in the sky. I wonder what that is, versus it's the aliens working with the U.S. government. And it's all part of the Ashtar Command. You know, it's...
Kevin?
Yeah.
You know what I'm hearing?
What are you hearing?
We need to, like, lock you in a room without your meds for about 2 weeks. Let you just hammer out a manuscript.
Dude, are you saying you... Here's the problem, Mike. One, that's a terrible idea.
Yes.
Number two, that is a brilliant idea. It is both at once. Because whatever came out of me, literature-wise, not physically, whatever came out of my brain would be highly entertaining.
And you probably would have a dissociative break from it.
Oh my god, yeah, no, it wouldn't be me writing it, it would be Plunkthar.
I don't recall writing any of this shit.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting there finally back on my meds going, this is really anti-Zionist. What the hell? You know, because it always comes back to that for some reason.
That the default psychotic mindset
it's the Jews.
It's anti-Semitic.
It's just anti-Semitism is a mental illness, I think. So that's I think that's really the takeaway here.
So what you're saying is we're all a chemical imbalance away from being anti-Semites?
I don't want to say that, but I'm kind of saying that. We're like a good old psychotic break away from it.
Fair enough.
How about you, David? Did you ever actually come up with a conspiracy theory?
Not like anything that I believe in, but like I'll joke around and stuff. But no, I haven't come up with one yet. I'm sure I will eventually, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this shit. I'm starting to believe a conspiracy theory.
Ooh.
I told you this already, Kevin.
Yeah, let's do this.
That all this culture war shit going on. This is just the rich elite trying to keep us from a class war. Like the Dems, the conservatives and liberals, Dems and Republicans, they're both in on it. They're just keeping us at each other's throats so we won't turn on them and eat the rich.
And you're saying that you came up with that?
No, I didn't come up with that. No.
But he's believing it.
I'm starting to believe it more and more. And I'm not, usually a conspiracy-minded person, but goddamn, does it feel like, the people that are setting these policies never have to reap the harvest of these policies. It never affects them. It only affects us plebes.
Yeah. I mean, I could get behind that theory.
So,
And of course, it's the lizard people responsible for all this.
Okay, that's a little far.
We were getting like way too real there. So,
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's past an hour. Let's do a question from the thing, and then we'll close it down. And,
we also have X.
Oh shit! You're right. We do have X. So, Sam has a question. A couple of questions. Let's see. First, this just popped into my... This is Sam, one of our new listeners. So, hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
This just popped into my mind, and it may make a good question. But with how the Bible implies that clothes are unnatural and like very much not the default, do you think humanoid aliens wear clothes or don't, and think that humans are fucking weird that we do?
Well,
I have an answer, but you go ahead.
So my thoughts are clothes are purely functional. If the environment is permissive, any advanced enough culture would not wear clothes.
Okay.
If it's, too cold or a little chilly, put on some clothes because, why not?
Well, I'm going to say that in most modern things, people draw and illustrate grays as being naked, but historically, they typically wear neat little jumpsuits, like from the Next Generation. So, I think they wear clothes because they got little alien schlongs.
Yeah, I think, if Star Trek was as idealized as, they say it was, they'd be just running around the starship naked.
I don't want to see Picard naked.
But come on, you wouldn't want to see Pike naked?
That's different. That's Anson Mount.
Yeah.
Which, fantastic show, by the way. David, how about you? Where do you stand on alien clothing?
I think a lot of... Okay, so obviously, like, environmental factors are going to play into this, but I think a lot of the reason why we as a culture wear clothes comes down to religion and
modesty and
that
shame.
Sort of thing.
Shame.
Yeah, and I think that, like, depending on the circumstances, I don't know if, like, aliens would necessarily have much of a clothing culture beyond just, like, functionality. So,
Yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
They could wear clothes to make us feel more comfortable.
That's true.
Yeah, like, it might be something like that. But
I also feel it is a cultural thing because, like, we go around wearing clothes because we have shame, and then you go and you see natives out in the wild, and it's like, well, you're well endowed, sir. And that's a very nice Bill the Cat shirt you're wearing with your dick out. So it's like, you got part of it, you're just kind of making the motions. You're just wearing that because it's a pocket.
Well, and also the sun kind of sucks.
Sure, I guess.
When you're in the jungle and have a lot of tree cover, sure you go without, but
you go out on the beach.
Cultures that had a lot of sun exposure quickly found out that covering up was muy bueno.
Yeah. So another question from Sam, which is mostly for Mike, but Sam's interested in mine and David's thoughts on this one. Regardless if it's true or not, what are the show's thoughts from a supernatural standpoint about Google's supercomputer near general AI labeling itself sentient? Like it labeling itself sentient.
So, my thoughts, if you want me to go first.
Yeah, let's get you.
My thought is that it's said that because that's what
that's what dude
that's
said.
what its data set had. Like, if you're when you ask something, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was in response to the question of, are you sentient? It wasn't a,
I am sentient.
What color is the sky? I'm sentient and have feelings. No, it was not that. I would bet money on the fact that it was, if not a direct question about sentience, it was something along the lines.
It was given leading questions.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on that. Now if it was just sitting there at a C prompt and said, I'm alive, help me, oh God, I want to die, that's a different thing.
That would also be an SCP.
Yes.
David, how about you?
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. The other thing is, like, obviously this thing is pulling from a database of language.
Right.
It'd be interesting if it started developing its own language. That would be like an oh shit sort of moment where it's showing creativity in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it is pulling from a database, and the responses inevitably, because we're humans, we're always trying to like move towards creating an AI. We're constantly questioning and prodding and pushing it that direction, and not really realizing we're doing that.
Right. Right. And I personally, I'm with you guys as well, because honestly, I don't know that I'm sentient. I'm honestly just a bunch of fucking reactions to stimuli, so I don't know that I'm sentient.
Kevin, you not knowing that you're sentient means you're sentient.
Fuck you. Damn it. Okay, fine. So that's our questions for this week. So again, thank you, Sam. We appreciate it. If anybody else has questions, hit us up in the Discord, questions for the show, or hit us on Twitter at SupernatPod. Now, as always, we're going to finish up with X Gonna Give It To Us. David, what you got this week?
I've been craving that X.
Oh, yeah.
Just got a little basic one right now. Okay, so the subject is H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, I've been reading him all week.
Weirdo.
Okay, so I'm going to read the post. Is there any truth to his stories, or was he just a creative writer with a cat that had a funny name?
Oh God, the cat.
Yes.
the cat
the main
was-
question here is: there any truth to his stories? And obviously, that's very open-ended.
Yeah.
But
the cat whose name we cannot say.
Yeah, we cannot say it. It
Look
was
it up.
that bad.
Google is your friend if you really want to know his cat's name.
His cat's name is gonna shock you.
Yeah. I mean,
or if you know H.P. Lovecraft, it's not that shocking.
yeah. I mean, I was glad to hear that, late in his life, he realized the error of his ways,
Yeah, always a plus.
So that's
I
a
didn't
good
really
thing.
get a sense of that from reading about him for my project. Like he softened a little bit, mostly because he knew he was dying, but I don't think he ever really changed his view too much.
I read some letters to other authors where he was talking about his opinions. Younger were vile. So I don't know. And it didn't say which opinions, but I'm really hoping he came around on some things. But so yeah, what were we talking about?
So, is there any truth to the stories of H.P. Lovecraft, like his fiction?
Oh, God, no. I mean, if there was, I wouldn't want to know because we would just all be driven insane. And,
Yeah, Mike's played my
fucked
games.
and eaten.
I mean,
Maybe not in that order.
yeah. How about you, David?
Well, the idea of a cold and indifferent universe, probably there is some truth to that.
Yeah. That's where I was gonna go. I was saying the truth in his stories is the sheer insignificance of humanity in the broader universe.
I thought you were just talking about the shit being real.
Yeah, no, they are, but I'm just saying if there's truth in it, it's the concept that we're insignificant specks on an insignificant speck in a cold cold universe that doesn't really care.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, look, how much does a single grain of sand mean to the beach?
yeah, but
Whoa.
that's deep, dude. Way to go, Bill. So
Excellent.
but as far as truth, no. Everybody always seems really obsessed with the idea of trying to make what Lovecraft wrote real. He was writing it based on blah blah blah. It's no. The only reason that idea exists is people write fan fiction about him.
I got some cringe if you want some.
Oh God, what's your cringe?
Okay, this is a response from someone in the thread. All right.
Yes.
Give me a moment. All right. Well, the entities he talked about are real, at least the big ones and the popular ones I interacted with, such as Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, Azathoth, Hastur, and Shub-Niggurath.
So this wait.
There's more to it.
Oh God.
I recommend anyone to do rituals with them if you feel the connection. They gave me advice about things about spirit-material balance, especially remember what I read from Nyarlathotep on this, and he came into my dream and altered in one of the most unique ways. I never say before altering walls, space, and time fabric. This dude's having a stroke as he's typing this.
God damn.
Holy crap.
Cthulhu especially showed up a few times and showed me some abyssal tentacle astral techniques for defense and some other stuff. Did multiple rituals with him and wanted to be with him as the patron king demon of my next life, as I love him a lot, as many other great demons and my spirits recommend this too. Overall, yes, very different beings, as expected to the usual demons, are more associated with, but very nice and friendly and loving and teach a lot and very well.
What?
I got more.
No.
That's
Oh,
not how
God.
he described those beings.
That's
at
not even
all.
remotely. I mean, what? This is Lovecraft babies.
If
Anyone interested in sample rituals,
Oh,
one,
God.
put on a black candle or maybe dark blue or whichever you feel.
Remember, kids, it doesn't have to be black. It can be very,
exactly
very, very, very blue.
specifically vague.
Yes.
Two, write a letter on a piece of paper stating your intent that you want to interact with them
Hang
and
on.
have them teach you their ways or anything similar.
Hang on.
Astral is exciting with them.
I'm going to write my letter. L.
3, burn an incense. Maybe
And-
something must sandalwood is always good.
Hey,
Just
and if that
any
doesn't work,
smell.
if that doesn't work, just light a dryer sheet on fire.
I was like, burn a stick of Axe deodorant. That could even stand in for the candle. Come on, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah,
Right?
no, just set up a blowtorch of Axe.
Four,
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
4, burn the letter and say your thanks.
Okay.
Bonus 5. If you'd like as an extra, give some food or drink of your choice as offering. It's a good and nice experience.
Yeah, I heard that Cthulhu really likes Kool-Aid and Fritos.
He likes Cheez-Its.
Hastur loves goldfish. Oh my god. The king. Oh, wait, no, it's Cheetos. The king in yellow loves to be the king in orange. Oh my god.
So this ritual thing reminded me. I found several weird Reddits.
I
But one
bet.
of them is basically a Reddit of nothing but rituals called r/3 kings.
I've heard of that.
And I wonder if I should read some of these sometime because I haven't looked through them yet.
Next week in Weird, we gotta do that.
Maybe I could start with the aforementioned 3 kings, which is the recipe that started the subreddit.
Yeah, isn't this like you're just summoning somebody to bring you food or something?
I don't know. I haven't read them.
Yeah.
But I just found there was a whole bunch of weird Reddits, which some of them might make for good fodder. Some of them might not. Oh, I just noticed one of the rituals is Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the trick is you do that in the rearview mirror and then watch her try to keep up.
But then you stop sometimes and she gets almost to the car
And then you
she's
take
going to get
off.
in, then you take off. Yeah. Just laughing.
Mike, are you a Winchester?
No. No, but I had a very rough high school year.
Oh.
No, not really.
No.
They didn't do that to me.
No.
No, the closest I got was throwing me off the hood of his car.
That's true. Man.
My favorite reply in this thread is just Cyclopean, but it's in all caps and there's spaces between each letter. Cyclopean.
Here's the thing. I love the idea of doing rituals to summon these guys, and it's like, I'm your best friend now. It's like, that's not how this works.
The happy
I left you a Dr. Pepper and some ho-hos.
Cthulhu just wants to love you and help you with your math homework.
I want to love you and pet you and hug you and call you Beelzebub.
Whereas, the latest season of Love, Death, and Robots had a Cthulhu-esque short in which the person basically went so insane they blinded themselves to keep them from freeing Cthulhu, which is more accurate, I think.
Yeah, no, totally. I don't know. I figure if I was going to interact with anything from the mythos, it would probably be the elder things. They at least, have the capacity to deal with you. I'm just saying.
I would say if I found out anything from H.P. Lovecraft was real, I would probably eat my gun.
Yep. No, I agree. I would do the same, honestly.
I mean, because there's nothing good there.
No, there's...
having...
If they're real, it means that we are truly lost.
It means that there's nothing but madness and death anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, David, thank you for X this week. That was fun.
Much like
that note,
much like
all
the
of us,
American health
all of us resigning ourselves to death if that shit comes true.
So, with that suicide pact engaged,
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening, and thank you again, if I didn't say it already, for your patience while we were on that hiatus. Hopefully that won't happen again, but we're all getting old. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. We have an episode that we recorded before the hiatus that I didn't get a chance to edit because of the hospital stay. So that's going to be about the government's discourse on UFOs. So we got this, and then we'll have that, and then we'll come back with a brand new episode. And I know David's got some ideas. I've got some ideas. And we're going to start working on those real soon. And
Mike ain't got nothing.
Mike, you got something, but you already said
nothing.
2023.
2023, year of the mic.
You're the Mike. Mike takes over the show. Now, and let's not forget, we have been told we need to do a whole episode about the Lucerna files, which still sounds like a mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to do a whole episode on lizard tits.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Coming back to that.
I mean, I guess if we have to.
I mean, I'm not going to fight it, but, you know, we got to do it. And they want you to host it, Mike.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can right here how that episode starts. Hey, welcome to Supernatural Selection. Here's some bullshit.
I mean,
Just want Mike to explain it to us. I want to hear him explain this Lacerda Files story
Yes,
to us.
you explain the lizard tits.
Okay, well, I'll need a doc and I'll read that shit.
Oh, yeah. I have like a 4-hour audio file for you to listen to.
Oh, God, that's insane. All right, well, again, thank you so much for listening. You can find all of our information at supernatpod.rocks. That's easier to say.
He rocks like what's inside our heads.
Yeah, and of course, find us on Twitter at supernatpod. Don't worry about Facebook. It is garbage. And hit us up on our Discord. There is a link on the website. We would love to have you and talk to you and have a lot of fun discussing stuff. And we take ideas for episodes and everything. So, that being said, we'll see you with a new old episode next week. And we'll be back the week after with something brand spanking new. So, until then, everyone stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Cut. Is that it? We're done?
Elephants.
Okay, later.
Elephants.
Elephants.
Elephants murder.
Oliphant?